I'm Christoph Reiter with Reiter Software, Reiter Trading, Reiter Consulting. And in our last video, we talked a little bit about how the West Coast feedstock market for used cooking oil was holding up better than the East Coast. And we talked briefly about how that was due to the LCFS program, due to essentially carbon credit system that California has in place. But we wanted to go into a little bit more depth about that, and also talk about the general concept of a certified feedstock and why it has more value. Now, this isn't the first time in our history, the last 10, 20 years, where we've had a situation where certified feedstock, a used cooking oil of certified origin, is worth more to certain people. In the past, this was true exporting into the European market, primarily off the East Coast, the New York area, out of those eastern ports primarily. What you had is a system in Europe where, in order to claim the European subsidies related to biodiesel, you needed to use ISCC certified feedstock, which meant that feedstock had to have records tracing it all the way back to its point of collection. In the US, we haven't historically had that regulated of an industry where that level of record keeping was necessary on the used cooking oil side. On the grease trap side, to some extent, yes, in certain states. But on the cooking oil side, you didn't really have that in the US. So certain companies on the East Coast, the Midwest, they would get ISCC certified so that they could export at higher values into the European subsidy market. And there's been certain times where that's really profitable. It had been probably 3 years or so, just roughly speaking, since it was last the case on the East Coast, where the ISCC market was substantially more profitable and thus worth the investment in getting ISCC certified. But right before this COVID thing, we'd returned to a situation where ISCC certified material did have extra value. And so we seem to have come back around on that cycle of the European and the US markets competing with each other. However, the US market is starting to resemble the European market in that if you have point origin certified feedstock, it has potentially more value to the biodiesel producer, particularly a West Coast biodiesel producer participating in the states from Washington, or the programs that are in place in California, Washington, and Oregon. In those states, feedstock is ranked by carbon intensity, which essentially means how much energy went into the production of that feedstock. To give a brief summary of how carbon intensity of used cooking oil is calculated, they look at what the intended first use of a material was. And in this case, soybean oil or canola oil's intended first use was for cooking. If the oil was used for that, all the carbon associated with that feedstock up to that point, the planting, the fuel for the tractors, the fertilizer, the fuel for the pumps to run potential irrigation, all of that carbon input is ascribed to the production of the cooking oil for cooking. When it's finished and it's then considered waste, where its full initial intended use has been realized, its carbon score essentially resets. So at a restaurant, when they take their oil out of the fryer and dump it into your collection container, that's like gold-plated, zero carbon intensity oil, basically. And the life cycle of that oil then begins fresh from that point, where the carbon intensity then becomes the energy to collect it from the restaurants, the energy to clean it to the state necessary for fuel production. And if you think about it, used cooking oil or brown grease potentially are really the only inputs that could have a carbon intensity score as low as they do. They're the only things that I can think of off the top of my head where the entire first intended use has been completed and you get a really low carbon scoring output. So as a result, used cooking oil has such a low carbon intensity that it is strongly favored by the California system. Because of this, It results in subsidies that historically have been as high as $2 per gallon at certain times, maybe even higher. And this is based on the demand for the carbon credits, the LCFS credits, within the California system, which is run by CARB, California Air Resource Board. And so there's a big financial incentive for used cooking oil suppliers to mislabel other materials as used cooking oil. Maybe mix in a little rendered tallow or really anything else, thereby rendering it will be more accurately called yellow grease than used cooking oil. And so as these California companies that produce fuel come under stricter and stricter scrutiny to verify that the feedstock they're using is in fact used cooking oil and does in fact deserve the carbon intensity treatment that it gets, it becomes more and more important to verify the source of the soil. And just financially, as I mentioned before, there is a big incentive for mislabeling. So California companies, in order to reduce their liability, or not just California companies or West Coast companies, but any companies selling fuel into the West Coast market, in order to reduce their liability, they need to be buying from people that keep good records, almost like the ISCC system requires. Our software does all that for you. For the last couple of years, CARB's been relatively generous in allowing out-of-state used cooking oil into their system. In-state used cooking oil is already regulated by California to the extent where record keeping is required. So in-state collections by California law are already essentially point source verified as long as the correct records are being kept. However, going forward, 2020, 2021, certainly, there's going to be increased scrutiny for used cooking oil going into the West Coast credit systems. That's my lovely dog, Lola. I don't know if you cut that out or what, like, it's like the third time. So, anyway, I don't know. As part of this increased scrutiny that's coming to the used cooking oil suppliers that are feeding the West Coast market, and that could be from any company, not just a West Coast company. It could be a Gulf company that's sending their fuel to the West Coast. It could be an international company sending their fuel to the West Coast. Whatever company is making the biofuel and being involved in this California system, there's going to be increased scrutiny of their feedstock suppliers. As a result, the importance of keeping good records is increasing every day for everyone, not just the people on the West Coast that are used to having these pressures. Going forward, it's reasonable to believe that if you don't keep good records, if your customer's not confident in your ability to track the feedstock back to its point of origin, that they're not going to be willing to pay as much for your oil, because there's a liability, there's a risk that you might not pass the audit necessary to verify the source of your oil, which, starting at the end, sometime in 2020, according to CARB's guidance, is going to be the new requirement. If you're going to sell oil to somebody that's participating in the California market, you need to be open to being audited. It's just part of the deal. If you don't want to have your collections audited, then you need to sell into the animal feed industry and you need to comply with the FSMA requirements, which are certainly, they have their own challenges to them, the Food Safety Modernization Act. So our software solves all these problems for you. We keep all the data you need to be California compliant or West Coast compliant. We've built our forms to match what are required by the various agencies involved. You don't have to worry about anything. You put in your depots, the locations where you either aggregate oil or process oil, put in your vehicles, plan your routes, and we track all the data for you. We track miles driven, we track energy use, we get you fully compliant for both the baseline system, which is the basic GREET simplified system, or the more advanced system where we actually track your utilities, your mileage, your fuel, etc., to give you a more precise carbon intensity. If your company is more efficient, less carbon intense than the baseline worst case assumption, you can get extra credits. But you can only do that if you have all the data, or your oil can get extra credits. The person you sell your oil to can claim such credits. So we have a situation here where you can actually make more money, better market your material, and more easily participate in the West Coast markets if you're keeping your data, if you're using a system like ours. If you're on the East Coast and you want to play in the European market, we get you ready for that too. All your data is organized, you're ready to go, you just need to go down that pathway. Now, as companies look more closely at their UCO suppliers and want to demand that point source verification is in fact happening and that the records are there, you run into some conflicts of interest. Some buyers have their own oil collection companies that compete with yours potentially. Other buyers you might think might someday want to. And so when they ask for your collection records, there's a conflict of interest there. So what they've done in the new CARB system going forward, or what they're proposing, is that there's a third-party audit where you let a third party examine your books, examine your collection records on behalf of the buyer, if required, to verify that you can in fact trace your feedstock. Now, that's great. That creates a little bit of safety there. But still, you need a system to do all this efficiently. And ideally, you don't want your company to be a black box waiting to be opened a year down the road by an auditor after having sold millions, tens of millions of dollars of product to somebody. And as a buyer, you don't want to take that liability. You don't want to have to wait till an actual audit before knowing what your risks are. So we're addressing those problems. We're creating what's called portals. We have portals for a variety of people. On the simplest level, we have a customer portal for your restaurants. If you want to share with the restaurant collection history, even if it's only their last collection or their last month or their last quarter, whatever period you specify, they can now log in on the web and view that. Can also view recent bills in the same way, and you can control what's shown. Why do we let you control what's shown and not just show the entire history? Well, in reality, competitors of yours will ask your restaurants to see the history, and then they will gauge their value and bid accordingly. So we're letting you protect that data just like you would, while still sharing it in an easy way. Now that's just one portal. That's a restaurant portal. That's currently out there. That's as part of a free. We're offering that for free for all existing users for the rest of the year. Now we have a few other portals that we're getting ready to launch. Back on the subject of verifying feedstock, one of which is a buyer portal. Another one is an auditor portal. The auditor portal is pretty straightforward. Auditor gets an overview of key information about your collections, and then they can drill down into specifics to try to detect any anomalies, abnormalities, or potential fraud. There's analytics to help in that, and you as the collector are able to see that as well, so that you can better improve your score and your perception, the perception of your company. Now, the auditor, pretty simple. They have the legal right to see all the data, but we don't just put it all out there for them to download and pass around. It's in a controlled environment where they see what they need on demand, just like you would want if you were being audited. Now, the buyer portal is really cool. If you're a biodiesel producer and you're about to spend $5-10 million with a feedstock supplier over the course of the next year, and you're going to claim millions of dollars of subsidies, if you find out a year later that what you were buying wasn't used cooking oil and the state wants you to return that money, that's a huge liability. And so we're creating a buyer portal where you can log in, link up with your supplier, and see how many gallons, if they give you permission, or verify that the number of gallons you're trying to purchase meshes with the number of gallons that they're producing. And so that gives you some security there. And then you can also see the quality of the data. We score it so that you can see, was this data GPS verified? Were there changes made to it over time? How high of quality do we think the data is based on all the factors that we can analyze? And so you're going to be able to see a score for the people that you're buying from, essentially, telling you how much confidence you should have in their ability to point source verify their product. And so you can make, as a buyer, an educated decision about who you should be buying from, and also be able to buy from new people with better confidence. So those three portals are pretty game changing. The restaurant portal, that's easy. That helps your sales process, helps your restaurants see that you're committed to transparency and giving them the records they need. The auditor portal, the easiest way to comply with the legal obligations that are coming down the pipe as part of the CARB and LCFS system, and to do so in a way that keeps your data safe. The buyer portal allows you to immediately establish a reputation with somebody, whether you've done business with them or not, and allow them to have confidence in your ability to provide the point source verification data that's needed in today's West Coast carbon trading environment. We think that these are going to be some pretty revolutionary features. They are currently under development and beta testing by some of our early customers. We plan on including these features for the remainder of 2020 at no cost to any customers that sign up during 2020. You'll get to use these new portal features, all of them, for free for the rest of the year. So we hope you give them a shot. We hope it creates value for you, and really think that this is the direction the industry needs to go. One other portal, as long as we're not on the subject, that I think you guys are going to love is the law enforcement portal. This actually came from feedback from one of our customers who puts all of their oil thefts on a map and shares it with law enforcement. It's actually led to catching 3 thieves in the past month and a half, one of whom was really big. And so this is also going to be a free feature that we're including for the rest of 2020. You can share it with your local law enforcement. You're not sharing it with everybody if you don't want to. It's a login, password protected interface. And so, these portals are really unique and game changing, and allow you to protect your data while still sharing the parts of it that you have to share, need to share, or want to share. So give it a shot, give us a call. If you want to learn more, talk with Zach. He's here to help you. I'm here to help you. And our development staff is here to build new features that you're going to need in the future, like these ones. So thanks for your time. Have a good day.